Today, we're jumping into Plato, a huge figure in Western philosophy, and his ideas still incredibly relevant. Our mission here is to unpack his core concepts, but not just as separate bits. We want to see them as this interconnected system, from his ideas about reality itself, right up to his vision for an ideal society. Get ready for some maybe surprising stuff about how Plato still shapes how we think about knowledge, truth, even our own communities. Let's dive in.
It really is fascinating. Plato saw everything as connected reality, knowledge, ethics, politics. It all sort of hangs together. And the absolute foundation, that's his theory of forms. This is a pretty big claim. He's basically saying the physical world we see and touch, that's not the real deal.
Not the ultimate reality. So what we perceive is less real.
Kind of, yeah. He thought true reality is in this other realm, a non-physical one, filled with perfect, unchanging forms. Think of them like the perfect blueprints, the ideal tree, the ideal justice, and our world. It's just a shadow, a flawed and imperfect reflection of those perfect forms.
Okay, so every chair I see is just a poor copy of some perfect chair form.
Exactly. And towering above all these forms is the idea of the good. Plato compares it to the sun. Just like the sun lights up the physical world, the good illuminates all the other forms. It makes knowledge possible. It's the essential basis of reality. And crucially, it connects his metaphysics to, well, everything else, how we know things, how we should act.
Right, that raises the obvious question then. If our senses only get us these imperfect reflections, how do we actually know anything truly? How do we get to those forms?
Well, that brings us straight to his famous allegory of the cave. It's much more than just a story. It's really his map for understanding how we move from ignorance to real knowledge. So, picture prisoners, chained up, only ever seeing shadows on a cave wall. For them, that's it. That is reality.
A powerful image for just relying on our senses, on common opinion, right?
Precisely. Then imagine one prisoner gets free. It's painful, confusing. They see the fire, the objects. Then they're dragged out into the sunlight.
Into the real world, metaphorically speaking. And the sun is the good.
Exactly. The journey out, seeing reflections, then things themselves. Finally, the sun, that's the climb from opinion up to true knowledge of the forms. It's an intellectual journey and not an easy one, but there's a twist.
No.
The philosopher who's seen the light feels a duty to go back down.
Back into the cave.
To try and enlighten the others. But it's tough. Their eyes aren't used to the dark anymore, and the others think they're crazy, maybe even dangerous. For Plato, this showed why philosophers, those who've made that ascent through intellect, are the only ones truly fit to lead. They've seen reality.
Okay, I see the connection to politics now. So how does this link to individual morality, to living a just life?
Well, Plato saw the human soul as having three parts. There's the rational part, reason. The spirited part, think, courage, ambition. And the appetitive part are basic desires.
Rational, spirited, appetitive. Okay.
And the main virtues line up with these. Wisdom guides the rational part. Courage belongs to the spirited. And temperance keeps the appetites in check. Justice, for the individual, happens when reason is in charge, orchestrating the other parts in harmony. He called it psychic harmony.
So inner balance, led by reason, and this connects to the state.
Directly. He used this amazing city-soul analogy. The ideal state, he argued, should mirror this tripartite soul. You have the philosopher kings, they're the rational part, ruling with wisdom gained from understanding the forms, especially the good. Then the auxiliaries, the soldiers, they're the spirited part, protecting the city. And the producers, farmers, artisans, they represent the appetitive part, providing for everyone's needs.
So a society ruled by the wise, protected by the brave, and sustained by the workers. Makes sense structurally.
Yes, but it required intense education for the rulers to grasp that form of the good. And it shows Plato's deep skepticism about democracy. He really distrusted leaving decisions to the masses, who he thought were led by their appetites. His ship of state analogy nails this. Would you let the passengers steer the ship, or the expert navigator?
A pretty stark critique. It's clear his ideas were hugely influential, but they weren't universally accepted, were they, even back then?
No, absolutely not. His own student, Aristotle, raised big questions. He found the forms maybe a bit too abstract, too separate from the world we actually experience. Aristotle leaned more towards empiricism, knowledge through observation. He also pointed out logical issues, like the third man argument, suggesting the forms might lead to endless regress.
Interesting. So challenges right from the start.
Definitely. But maybe Plato's real genius wasn't just in the answers he gave, but in the questions he framed. Questions like, what's the difference between appearance and reality? How do we really know things through reason or experience? These are fundamental problems he articulated.
A starting point for thought, even millennia later. That's quite a legacy. So thinking about all this, what does seeking true knowledge mean for you listening right now? How do you sort out genuine understanding from just opinion in your own life? And does Plato's idea of an ordered soul or even an ordered society led by wisdom resonate with you? Or does it challenge your ideas about truth, leadership, maybe even your own integrity? Worth considering. What forms, what ideals are guiding your reality?